Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee. This is JLeesCorner. This is my review for Braxton Family Values. Okay, Season 7, Episode 4. It was entertaining but boring at the same time. I was so confused with stuff and whatnot. But y'all already know to subscribe to my channel to become a whole JayBird. Dun. Okay, y'all already know to remember to breathe it on out, to inhale and to exhale and stuff, okay? To relax, to relate, to release, to center yourself and everyone around you, okay? You have to also like this video, comment in the comment section, hit that little button that says share and share it on your social media and everything. Follow me on IG and Twitter at J_Lees_Corner, and all of that information is in the description box below and stuff and whatnot. Okay, let's get into this episode. So we see, of course, everybody quarantine. Okay, everybody on every reality show right now is doing what? Quarantining, because they can't go nowhere and whatnot. Okay, we see Trina talking, and she had to close down Bar Chicks because, you know what I'm saying, restaurants closing down or whatnot. But she says that her location was in between time, like, you know what I'm saying, moving. They were changing locations, so it was actually a good thing. It was easier for her to close down because it seemed like she had no location. Okay, let's call it spade a spade. She did not have a location, but that's fine. Okay, now at this point in time, mommy was living with them, chillaxing, okay, cooking all the food, making sure Vine ate all the good stuff, because it seemed like Trina can't cook or whatever, and they having a good old time being married, having sex with her mom in the same house. That's just weird. Okay, we see Tawanda and Sean, you know, so Sean then moved from LA to Georgia. He came there to quarantine with her. He done been in now for 4 months, okay? I'm like, oh, ain't that nice? We see him showing her son how to cut grass. We never see them children at all. Like, I don't think we've seen Tawanda's kids since they was like 2 and 3. Maybe like 8, 9 or whatever. But again, it's been a minute. And now they're like teenagers or whatever. But she brings up how her and Sean is doing good or whatever, and you know what I'm saying, she would not mind having kids with Sean because Sean don't have any children, even though she has 2. And so when they were on FaceTime with Vine and Trina, Vine said, oh, well, if he don't have any children, like, you should give him some kids. I was like, I think it's weird when people suggest for people to have kids who haven't discussed marriage. I feel like, not that I feel like people have to be married to have kids, but I'm looking like, if you talking about having kids, shouldn't you want to have a, like, I just think it's weird to not discuss, you know, being having a whole union, but you want kids, because if it don't work out, you just got a kid with some dude. I'm gonna leave that be or whatever. Anyway, we then see that later on they're going shopping for like cyclist club, because I guess Sean likes riding bikes because he's a cyclist, and so they got to get some cyclist shoes because he wants Tawanda to go cycling with him. He's like, I don't know, my butt real big. Them bikes and asses is real uncle. Look, I'm not gonna say all white folks have small asses, but most white folks have small asses or whatever. And so sometimes the big asses of us black folk, it'd be real uncomfortable on them bikes and whatnot. So I get it, my ass is too big, as Tawanda said or whatever. But as they up in the store without no mask on, they came in with a mask and then took it off because they wasn't around anyone, I guess. She brings up how she wants to go to Maryland to visit her daddy, because again, he old. And she like, I don't know if he around here, around other people, if he's, you know, being safe, so I need to go visit him. I'm like, but have you been safe? Is you okay? Girl, I'm gonna leave that be too. So, you know, when I go down there and visit him, I think I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, maybe visit Tracy too. I was like, I don't know. But because she wants to go out of town, she then asked Sean, hey, when I'm out of town visiting my daddy, can you stay at the house with my children and take care of them? He's like, oh, sure, no problem or whatever. And she brings up, you know, him being there the past 4 months is giving her time to see how he'll be as a father to her children or whatever, to whatever kids they may have, adopt or kidnap around these streets and whatever. And I'm like, fine, cool. Now they do again start discussing what, having a baby. I'm looking like, y'all just keep, okay. Look, people can have kids all they want, but I just think it's weird. It's just weird to have the conversation, you know, we should have a baby. I'm like, he don't even live there yet. Like, he's visiting. Like, I mean, he's been there for 4 months because he can't travel, but he has not even moved to your state. He still has a residence in a whole other state across the country in LA. You down there in Georgia. Girl, that's stupid. Okay. Anyway, we do see them later on talking a little bit more. And she says how he has, I've gotten used, she says something, I've gotten used to, waking up to you every day. I've gotten used to, he like, oh, well, do you want to do that forever? I say, at least they talking marriage. Okay, that's a good thing or whatever. Okay. And she, oh, are you asking me? Are you is this he's like, calm on down. You know what I'm saying? All I know is, for us to have that conversation, you have to get that man's name off your body. She has her ex-husband's name tattooed on her wrist or whatever. Now she's like, I'm gonna get it off. I'm gonna get it off. I know. Because she said if he had his ex-wife's name on him, she would also want that removed or whatever. I don't care. I mean, as long as the tattoo ain't near the penis or on the I don't think it would be a big deal too much to get it removed, but I feel like if y'all ain't together no more, you should have already had it at least covered up. I mean, unless the tattoo was like big, like when, Nick Cannon had Mariah Carey's name sprawled across his back. That was a lie. And my ex had my name on his back, but I'm pretty sure by now the bad guy has removed JayLee from his back, because JayLee damn sure removed his name from her back. Okay, anyway, but I think you should always get rid of those tattoos once that relationship is dead. Like, get rid of it. It's dead and gone. Okay, but anyway, so she's like, I'm gonna have it removed, and hers like a little scribble of a name or whatever. It's not mine. Was girl, it was a lot. Anyway, so they had that conversation. She then walks away or whatever to go to the bathroom, but she brings up how her and the ex-husband they don't have any contact or whatever. He's not involved in the kid's life at all. Like, he has not been involved for a while, is what she said. I'm looking like, damn, he was just this deadbeat. I just think it's weird when the father has been involved the whole time in the marriage, and then when him and the wife separate, you're like, you know what, this fuck them kids. I'm like, that's just weird or whatever. But again, I'm gonna get the tattoo removed. We do see Sean then FaceTime her daddy and say he wants to come talk to him and pick his brain or whatever. And I was like, I mean, you gonna ask him, can you marry his daughter? Whatever. But when Tawana walks up, she hear him rushing some off the phone, and I think she know her daddy voice, and because the daddy then said love you, and then Sean said love you back. Well, who was that? Who you on the phone? Who you said you love to? But who was that or whatever? And she was laughing. Oh, that was my father. It was my daddy. She's like, that ain't whatever, but she knew it. No, that didn't sound like your father. It was your father. Tawana was your father, not Tony. Tony says she at home being extra careful, because again, we know Tony has lupus, so she has to be extra careful. So she is not leaving the house at the all or whatever. We do see her talking to her assistant or whatever about merchandise for her tour, which I don't think I should get it right now because it can be dated by the time it comes or whatever. And so when she calls her manager, okay, he let her know your tour is canceled right now. The tour is on hold until next year, at the earliest to be next year in the spring. So you don't need to pick any merchandise for the tour itself, but you do need to pick some stuff to have some general merchandise to sell in the meantime, in between time. I do think artists should always have merchandise available some kind of way, because that's just residual income or whatever. She did bring up how she had put out some breathing in masks in support of George Lord. Was it George Floyd? I can't remember. It's been so many names. I do think it's George Floyd. It's two of them, y'all. Forgive my brain, but y'all know who I'm talking about. But yeah, she's gonna have some masks that she would not make any money on, but it'd be, in remembrance of him and everything. But I'm like, cool, boom. So we do see Tony and Tracy FaceTime talking, saying they bring up how they have not talked or seen each other, basically since Trina's wedding, which was 7 months before. Okay, it's been a long time or whatever. Tracy brings up how, because they chit chat and stuff. And so Tracy brings up how, her husband is working the front lines at the VA hospital, how her son, I'm guessing he's a delivery dude for food or whatever, because she said package delivery. But when Tony then said, yeah, because people need their food, I'm like, oh, they food, that means he delivering orders or whatever. But anyway, they're both still like out in the world during the pandemic, where Tracy's able to be in the house or whatever. She also brings up how she's in therapy still or whatever. Her therapy is done via video, but she's like, it really helps me, and I've been doing better since I've been in therapy. Like, I miss Lauren so much, but I'm getting better at expressing how I feel or whatever. And I'm like, you can see that Tracy is a bit more relaxed. You know, she does not seem as angry as she usually did before and stuff or whatever. Tony brings up how she's been quarantining with her son and her fiance Birdman. I say, lad, you tell Tony, look, Tony been fooling us for I don't know how long. I just do not believe her and Bird. I don't believe it. This is the thing. This is a reality show that you're on, and your reality could not be you sitting in the room by yourself talking to everybody else who have their husbands and boyfriends and live-in penises or whatever around, and you up there with your assistant, but you live with your sons and your fiance. Birdman ain't walked across the floor to say, baby, we got some bacon in the deep freezer. Like, he came by and said nothing. Baby, we got some hash browns in the deep freezer. Not nothing. Baby, we got some more soap in the cabinet. I need some more soap. We got some more soap. Like, nothing. I just feel like your man always walks past somewhere if he lives there. I've been quarantining with my fiance, with your finances or whatever, not your damn fiance. I'm gonna leave that be too. So we then see Tracy at home, watering her grass. I'm like, her and Kevin has moved. That's a nice little house or whatever, okay? But anyway, Tawanda called Tracy to say that she would be going to DC to see their daddy, and when she do, she wanted to stop by and see Tracy too. And she was like, I don't know about that, Tawanda. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really, trying to be around people or whatever. It's just this whole COVID thing or whatever. I don't think, I got to think about it. I got to think. And I also feel like you can't call someone and say, I'm coming to town, I want to see you during the pandemic. Like, you should say, I'm coming to town, are you open to see me from 18 feet away? And I'll say, oh, maybe. I don't know yet. Don't do that. Especially if this is someone you haven't been talking to for months. I don't want to see you right now. I'm good, love, and joy. I'm seeing you right now on my FaceTime. I don't need to see you in person. For what? Don't cough on me. Leave me be. Anyway, she brings up how, I haven't seen you since the wedding. It's weird or whatever. I'm like, girl, don't do it, Tawanda. Don't. Tawanda, go see your daddy and go home or whatever. But Tracy eventually agreed. Okay, fine. I'll cook some food or whatever. We can talk. Boom, pow, pow. So we then see Tracy and Kevin on the porch. Tracy looks so good. Look at Tracy over there. Look at Tracy and Kevin on the porch. Just sitting outside. Okay, nice little front porch or whatever. Tracy looks tranquil. Okay, she looked like she's not worried about, but she looked like she's taking care of herself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, all that stuff together. She brings up how, I'm in therapy now. My therapist has been helping me understand that I don't have to speak in anger to my family in order to get my point across. I can kind of, calm down and not make it be an angry issue. It's like I will make sure to enforce my boundaries with them of not letting them treat me like my feelings don't matter. But I also know that I need to use my words. Use my words and not my anger. And even Kevin see, the therapist was really helping, because again, Tracy was to the point to where she would react. She would like lash out, and because she would act so aggressively upset with them, they wouldn't hear what she was trying to say because she was so angry. And so it's a good thing that she realized, one, that's what she used to do, and two, that hasn't helped her, and so she had to do what? Another way. I'm like, go ahead, Tracy. Anyway, we then see Trina and Tony talking, of course, on FaceTime or whatever. Trina brings up how she misses working on Sister Circle, because Sister Circle was canceled. I also missed the 6-figure checks. I was like, damn, you was $100,000? I guess it was a talk show. So $100,000 is because, or maybe it was 200, who knows. Anyway, but she missed that or whatever. Tony admits how she, had to cancel her tour, postpone her tour, but it gives her more time to plan for the tour to happen later on the following year. She then gets off the phone, and because Trina now has to make food for Vaughn because she got a whole. See, that's what I say. Trina on the phone with Tony, and Vaughn walked up. Why haven't Birdman walked up? Where's Birdman? He walked by and said, "Brr," like he didn't even make no bird noise, nothing. Like he don't even have a pair of shoes sitting in the corner that we can see from afar. Like nothing. He didn't even just like walk past in a robe. You know what I'm saying? Not nothing. Girl, I do not believe she with that man. I'm gonna leave that bed, whatever. But again, Trina at home with her husband, who don't like her cooking. Whatever she was cooking, it looked like burnt eggs. It looked like burnt eggs. It could have been, some food seasoning or some, I don't know, but it didn't look good. I'm like, is that burnt hamburger helper? I just didn't know what it was, and I wasn't listening to find out what she was cooking, but Vaughn didn't like that or whatever. And he points out how mommy was cooking all the good food or whatever, but she didn't move back home because she tired of them. And Trina said she probably had to doing it. I mean, she probably did, but that's why I'm like, It's weird to think that, have I ever, I've never had sex when my mama was in the house. Never. Because that's just weird. Because one, who has time to be quiet? And then two, that's just weird. I've snuck boys in the house. You know what? I take that back. I did. I have. One time we did. Crazy. Anyway, but that was weird. The house was big enough where I felt like, no. Okay, I have. I take that back. I was lying. I had to sit here and think about it. I'm like, no. 2 specific different times, I know for a fact they were upstairs and I was down. Thanks to Jesus. Anyway, so Vaughn and them talking or whatever, because Trina's sons, Caleb, the oldest, was it Caleb? No, the oldest one, Eric, has moved out, but the younger brother, Caleb, who's still old, he's like at least 18, has moved back in. Okay, and Vaughn wants him to move out, not because it's any kind of weird, I don't want your attention. Trina brings up how I feel like Vaughn wants him to move out so that he can become responsible and be his own man versus get out because I don't want you here. And I'm like, I think Vaughn do seem like the type that wants Trina's sons to be self-sufficient. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a good, they need that kind of energy around them or whatever. So that's fine. That's fine. We see Tony I had to get some water. We then see Tony's on the phone talking with her doctor because she feel like, I can't travel, but I miss my sister. So even though if I can't travel, can my sisters come visit me instead? Can they do that, Dr. Man? And Dr. Man so his uncle say, they travel to you, they would have to, quarantine for 2 or 3 days, then get tested, and if the test come back negative, then guess, it's fine for them to see you or whatever. So that's gonna be the whole plan for Tony to get them to come see her and whatnot. We then see Trina and Vaughn go out to dinner with Trina's best friend, Tamika Scott. Tamika Scott from Escape. So Trina and Tamika are best friends, and then their husbands are good friends too now. So they had a little, going out date that was, separate from everybody else and whatnot. Walked in with their masks and took their masks off when they got to the table. They all were just happy to be able to get out the house. I still have not went to any sit-down restaurant, not even ones that we had here that had outside seating. I was like, no, because other people, there's too many people out here, okay? No, I'll do curbside pickup and that's it or whatever. So they were chit-chatting about how, the bachelorette party happened at Tamika's house. Tamika's husband said, I smelled like naked men sweat in my man cave. They then showed the flashbacks of the bachelorette party of the strippers getting naked. You know what I'm saying? And Trina said, well, I think the men, which is, musty. So you probably smell musty men down there. I'm like, that's just nasty. Anyway. So the men go wherever else or whatever, and then Tamika and Trina, sit chit chat and whatnot. And she asked her, why don't you do music anymore? Trina, why? You have a good voice, Trina. You got a name. Why have you not made any music or whatever? Now, first Trina said how she stopped because I'm busy being a wife. I'm like, but you only been a wife for like 2 minutes, and what happened to all that other time that you could have been making music? But she then admits, once the guys walk away, how, she stopped doing it because she was no longer in love with doing music, and how, because she felt overwhelmed with how other people would judge her, how other people feel like she don't sound like Tony, she don't sound like Tamar, and it was just, she also was not making she was not making the music that she wanted to make at that time. So again, it became less and less fun. And we always say, when you do something that you're not doing it to make yourself happy, it becomes tedious. You don't want to do it anymore. So I love that Tamika explained, like, you know what, you need to get all that bullshit, like, don't care about what they say or whatever. Like, God gave you a gift because you have a great voice and you should use it. I'm saying, you need to remember that you don't sound like Tony or like Tamar. You sound like Trina. And you are Trina Braxton. I can't remember hearing Trina sing like Solo Dolo. And the song I think she did before was like, if you don't wanna party, it was like club. I'm like, I don't think that's her. But the same way that Tracy did her own little, album or two, little EPs to get her thing out, I think Trina should do the same. But we shall see. But that was the whole episode. I'm done. Peace.